sleet and bright sunshine as well, but they're about to be called in. Runners walking in. For our final race here this afternoon. Lining up, and they are off for the William Hill in the App Store Standard Open National Hunt Flat Race. Just a bit of a swerve from Mackerson early on, but he's out in front in the beige and black colours from Whispering Harry, who's in the two-tone blue in second. Not much of a gallop on here, as is often the case in these National Hunt Flat races. Dakar Run, the favourite, racing third, the pink sleeves and cap, just ahead of Jolly's Cracked It in the maroon and white. That's on the inside. Then the dark blue sleeves of Rock of Ages, who's racing further back in the field. Long Lunch is on the inside. Pink cap for Charlie Longston, who won this race with Pendra 12 months ago. That horse was a bit disappointing today at Cheltenham, but of course that was in a very competitive contest, and he's turned out to be a decent sort. Long Lunch is on the inside, the pink cap. Also pink cap for Bonnet's Vino as well, in the Sly colours, the dark blue with the grey sleeves. Racing towards the back is Sam Run in the maroon and white as they dawdle up the home straight here in the snow at Huntingdon. And they're being led by Mackerson, Chris Bealby's runner, out in front. The grey leading up by a half length to Whispering Harry, who's racing wide in the Restless Harry colours, the royal blue and light blue quarters. Rather keen, that runner. Then the Weatherby winner, Dakar Run, pink sleeves and cap, handy for Brian Hughes. Towards the far side is Jolly's Cracked It, one of the debutantes for Gary Moore. Alongside that one is Rock of Ages. Long Lunch is being held up in company with Bonnet's Vino and Sam Run as they race past us here in the stands. So going out for the final circuit, and still Mackerson out in front by a length to Whispering Harry in second. Jolly's Cracked It is moving up on the inside in company with Rock of Ages, and then comes Dakar Run. Long Lunch is being ridden with restraint, but he's very close. They really are clustering up there on the inside, and got a bit close to the rails, Long Lunch, but he's still there in about 5th or 6th position. Further back behind him is Bonnet's Vino, and then comes Sam Run. But 7 lengths would cover the field here. They're in a little cluster as they go out down the back straight for the final time. And it's Mackerson who leads up here to Whispering Harry, who's just second ahead of Jolly's Cracked It. And then Rock of Ages with the red cap. Dakar Run is in that group as well with Long Lunch. And then Bonnet's Vino and Sam Run. Bonnet's Vino just chased along there down the back straight as they're still being led by Mackerson. Mackerson in front from Whispering Harry. And then comes Jolly's Cracked It, who's on the rails still alongside Rock of Ages. Out wider Dakar Run, the pink sleeves and cap for Brian Hughes. Long Lunch is back towards the rails, just ahead of Sam Run, maroon and white, and still the back marker, Bonnet's Vino. The only one apparently struggling, Bonnet's Vino, just being ridden along at the rear. They race midway down the far side here. Still being led by Mackerson out in front. Whispering Harry, though, is now alongside. Racing wide but making ground, Dakar Run. Then Jolly's Cracked It in company with Rock of Ages. And then Long Lunch, who's on the inside of Sam Run, the maroon with the white hoop, as they make their way towards the final 5 furlongs now. About to leave the back straight behind them. Still ridden along is Bonnet's Vino in rear. But again, grouping up front, it's still Whispering Harry. Ridden along now is Mackerson as Dakar Run makes smooth headway towards the outside. Sam Run is being ridden along. Still travelling okay. Jolly's Cracked It against the rails. Long Lunch trying to follow him through as the pace increases now. And Dakar Run has got there pretty easily on the outside. Jolly's Cracked It also going well, though, on the rails. The front two go on to Whispering Harry in third. Long Lunch trying to go with the leading two as they turn for home and the pace increases. So Dakar Run on the outside trying to carry the penalty here, leading up to Jolly's Cracked It. Long Lunch is in third place and being ridden along. Dakar Run leads. Brian Hughes has a look behind. You'll see Long Lunch is running on towards the outside. Jolly's Cracked It now appears to give way as they head down for the final furlong. Dakar Run shaken up, hasn't quite seen off Long Lunch just yet as they enter the final furlong and a half. So up front, Dakar Run leads Long Lunch by about 2 lengths. They're clear now of Jolly's Cracked It in third as Dakar Run still leads by a length and a half from Long Lunch, who's trying hard to make a race of it, but Dakar Run is just too strong for Long Lunch, and Dakar Run wins again for Brian Hughes and Richard Fahey. Second, Long Lunch showed promise on debut. Staying on for third was Bonnet's Vino, and then Jolly's Cracked It, followed by Whispering Harry, and they were clear of Sam Run.
Dakar Run has made it 2 from 2 under rules for Richard Fahey in the colours of the Wildcard Racing Syndicate and Partners. And no doubt they'll be very pleased with the attitude that this fellow has shown in seeing off the debutant Long Lunch. He'll be winning a bumper before too long, you would think, for Charlie Longsdon. Bonnet's Vino looked to be one of the first beaten, the Grape Tree Road mare, but she did stay on up the straight for Sean Quinlan, and that's shaped with a bit of promise for the future, admittedly quite a way behind the front two. Jolly's Cracked It looked potentially like he might play a part turning into the home straight, but he's come under pressure, and I'm sure he'll come on for the experience, but he's finished fairly weakly up the straight, and Bonnet's Vino, the one that caught the eye, staying on from the back, but no doubt will probably end up wanting further over hurdles. But Dakar Run has been placed very well by Richard Fahey and has now made it 2 from 2. Let's have a look at the head-on in a moment. And you'll see, as mentioned, the Bonnet's Vino from the back. She did look very well beaten, but did indeed run on pretty strongly up the home straight to get third spot, and Jolly's Cracked It. They'll probably be pleased enough with that, but was quite well backed earlier in the day and just seemed to get very tired in the conditions up the straight. It looks pretty deep there, and possibly just the experience that Dakar Run had also stood him in good stead, and quite nicely backed even money favourite. Long Lunch was second at 100 to 30. Bonnet's Vino was third at 16 to 1. And was running on well, doing all the work at the finish. A length and 15 lengths the winning margin. 2 non-runners, 1 and 7 and 8 ran. Now, if you thought that Ruby Walsh was going to have just the one winner today at Cheltenham, you might not have thought it would be this fellow, but Briar Hill, most